This is my review of the Leisure PBC273F Fridge Freezer in white. It's got a really catchy name, and it's also an integrated fridge freezer, so that means that you can put your own doors on it so that it fits in perfectly with your kitchen. As you can see, I haven't done that yet because there's a few features that are relevant in terms of the doors, so I thought I'd show you those first. This has a capacity of 237 litres, and AO have helpfully told me that that equates to 13 bags of shopping. It's actually quite a lot, and it's a 70-30 split between the fridge and the freezer, so there's an awful lot of shopping that fits in the fridge. I think I probably would have liked to have seen a slightly larger freezer, because this is the size of the freezer and it's really nowhere near as big as the fridge, but it depends what you're looking for in terms of the split of space between your fridge and freezer. So going back to the doors, as you can see, the hinges are here on this one, and I'll go down to the freezer and the hinges are just here. But what you can do with these is, if it's easier for your kitchen, you can actually flip them over to the other side. So you can see there's some space here for the hinges to go. And the same thing happens on this top part of the fridge. So this just means that it will literally fit into any kitchen. And there's also a fitting there for you to put your own kitchen doors on. It will also fit in a standard tall cabinet. While we're looking at the outside, you can see that there's an adjustable temperature gauge. And that's on both the fridge and the freezer, so you can adjust it separately. As you can see, I've got it on 4 for the fridge, and that's because we had it on a little bit lower. We actually had it on 3, but a few things in the bottom of the fridge were freezing, so I've moved it up onto 4. And in terms of the freezer, you can see that that's on the eco mode, which is -18, and that's really, really cold. Our ice cream's colder than it's ever been. The other external feature that I wanted to try to show you is these adjustable front feet that are on the bottom of it. So this just means that if your floor is a little bit uneven like ours, then you can adjust them to make sure that it doesn't wobble around. Moving on then to the inside of the fridge, this is the door on the inside. As you can see, there are shelves that are adjustable. There's 2 shelves at the top, and you can move about where they go. And then there's also another one at the bottom, which is specifically for bottles. So these wire things are called wire visors, and they hold things into the top shelves. And then as you move down, you can see the bottle holder has 2 pieces of wire instead of 1, so it can hold in much bigger objects. Now the other thing that you've got inside the door is this egg tray. Seems like a really useful idea. However, I've actually moved ours generally out of the door and onto one of the shelves, because the door seal on this fridge freezer is so good that when you shut it, the eggs are jumping about. We haven't actually smashed one yet, but I think it would only be a matter of time, so ours is now living on one of the shelves instead of the door. On the inside, you've got an internal light. You've also got 3 adjustable shelves. And then there's another shelf which isn't adjustable. Underneath the other shelf, you've got 2 drawers, one of which is for your meat and dairy produce, and one of which is for salad and fruit. Inside the freezer then, my camera's going to get a little bit steamed up because it really is quite cold. You've got 3 different drawers, and it really does hold quite a lot of stuff considering how much smaller it is than the fridge. Obviously the drawers pull out, and it does go quite far back, so there's quite a lot of space in there. The bottom one is a chiller, so that makes it cold a little bit quicker if you put it in there. Other great features that you need to know about. There's a holiday mode, so that if you go away you can leave it on, but it doesn't use quite so much energy. And the other thing which is pretty good is a special coating inside the fridge to prevent build-up of bacteria, and that stops your fridge from smelling, which I think is quite useful. So we were sent this to review by AO, and I've always found that AO delivery has been excellent. So we were given a day when it would be delivered, and that was my choice of day. We were then texted a time slot on the day to say when they'd be there, and then they gave us a call just before they arrived as well, so we were kept really well informed about that. The delivery men were excellent. They brought the fridge freezer into the kitchen because we weren't able to do it ourselves, so we thought that was a little bit of extra customer service that was really good.